WOVU LP Cleveland.
WOVU LP Cleveland. WOVU 95.9 FM, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Her in the Huddle, WOVU's Look at Sports, featuring the First Lady of Sports, Rachel Hill.
What's up? What's up? You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I'm coming to you today. It is a Victory Tuesday still. We up in the house today. Super excited to talk about some football. I got Eddie here with me. I think I'm going to have Brandy too, Sapphire, quite possibly. You know, it's an election day, so we want to encourage everyone to get out and rock your ability to vote. I believe the polls close at 7:30 p.m. and as long as you are in line, you cannot be denied your right to vote. So please get out and vote today. We definitely need you to do that. There are so many people who died for your right to be able to vote, who lived and died and protested and all that other stuff, were maimed, beaten, and killed for you to have the right to vote. So please go ahead and exercise your right to vote today on November 7th. Eddie, what's up, sir? How you doing today? What's going on, man?
What it do, baby? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on with you?
I am excited, man. It's
Yeah.
Victory Tuesday. Ohio State won. The
I
Cavs
know.
won. The Browns won. Look, we are doing good this week.
I know. It's very exciting. You know, you didn't know what was going to happen. Well, I was going to say on Sunday, you know, it could have been an either or situation, you know, with against the Cardinals. Excuse me.
If the Browns would have lost that game, the fantasy should have been fired.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes we lose the games that we shouldn't lose.
That's the old Browns.
You know, and win the games that we shouldn't lose as well, you know, that we shouldn't lose. So I am super excited about what happened on Sunday. But let's talk about some Cleveland Cavaliers because we're going to have Irie Harris from the Cleveland Plain Dealer or Cleveland.com who's going to be with us at 6:30 as his usual time spot. But I wanted to open up with some basketball. The Cleveland Cavaliers go on a long road trip. So they're going to play 4 games on the road on their West Coast trip. Usually they take this trip in January, but they're taking it very early in the season. So it's going to be a very early season test for them, which I think is absolutely stupid. I do not understand the tournament. I guess I should have taken the time to educate myself on this tournament, but I don't like the idea because what is the point of the regular season? If your goal is to win a world championship at the end and you have 2 months of playoffs to do so, what is the point of this in-season tournament besides the players making a little bit of extra money?
Well, I believe it's like this, and this is just my opinion. One thing about basketball, most fans don't start really watching it until after the All-Star break. That's when everybody get into it because now we see where most teams are at, and now we like, yo, let's see where it goes. But now it's like, hey, we got something to win at the beginning of the season, which is the tournament. So if you win this, you get this cool-looking trophy plus money. You can play for money, and then then you get the All-Star break, then you got the playoffs. So, do I like it? I don't know yet. You know, the Cavs won their first game, so I don't know if I like it or not yet. We'll see. It's definitely different.
No, they lost that first game.
No, the first game was Golden State.
The Pacers.
The Pacers were the game. Oh,
yeah.
They lost their game.
Right, yeah. They beat Golden State, but they lost.
No, I thought they just started until after that Pacers game, though.
Isn't it just a couple games that's part of the tournament?
Yeah, but I thought
the Pacers was the first game part of the tournament, and they lost that game.
They started to that Friday. They played the Pacers that
Friday night.
You're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. So they did lose their first game.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much that affects them or what have you, but I'm just not a fan of this regular season tournament, and I kind of think
I thought it was like college though, one and done though. It's not.
No, they got a couple more games that are part of the tournament.
Oh well, then I don't understand the game. I need to get my book up because I don't understand it. But,
yeah,
I mean, you don't see because like I said, I'm not sure if I like it or not. we'll see.
Yeah, so Sunday was a great game for the Cleveland Cavaliers, beating Golden State for the first time in 16 tries, which is kind of a little bit unbelievable for me. Last year there was that controversy where Golden State sat like 4 of their starters, and they still managed to come into Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and beat the Cleveland Cavaliers at full strength. And there was a lot of controversy about that last year. So, this year, Golden State came in at full strength, and the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to beat them low in the paint.
Yes.
You can't get into a 3-point shootout with Golden State because you're going to lose on that every time. But
and if you look at the game last year, that's what we tried to do. We try to beat Golden State at their game. And I don't care if they got backups in. Golden State can shoot. And in this game, we were like, you know what, we're gonna shoot the 3 ball. Don't get us wrong, but we're gonna beat y'all down low. And they did that. The Cavs won to me, and when they went down low, they started playing bully ball. Even Donovan Mitchell, he was playing, going to the basket and scoring, compared to last year where they, like I said, they were heavy on the 3, man. They were super heavy on the 3 last year against Golden State, and as we know, we lost that game. So, excuse me. So, with that being said, I think definitely keep we know we got the blueprint of how we can win, and that's going to the basket, and then letting our 3-pointers fly after that. But I think we continue this way of playing. I think we're gonna be all right. I think we're 3-4 right now. So right now, 3-4, we got a tough West Coast trip. Definitely a tough West Coast
starting at Oklahoma City, which beat us in our opening game this year.
Yeah. This West Coast trip might be deadly. But we can come out of it. Even though we always have a rough time on the West Coast, I don't care who is on our team. We can have LeBron James. The West Coast seems to be tough for us. I don't know if it's because the time zone or what it is, but it's always tough on us. But I really believe this Cavaliers team, depending on the team they decide to play, because we are two different teams. One, we got 1 minute we are the team that played against Golden State where we're playing bully ball, and then the next minute we're trying to be the Golden State Warriors. So it depends on what team come out. Is the team that's gonna be at the West. If we go on the West Coast, we can win again. And I think if we play the way we played against Golden State, we definitely can come out the West Coast pretty nice.
At least if we can come out at least 2-2, because remember, not last year, but the year before last, how well they did on the West Coast trip, and everybody's like, "Oh, these guys are something different,"
So
we
struggle.
Yeah,
when we had LeBron James, we struggled on the West Coast. So when we do well on the West Coast, it's surprising us.
Yeah, this is definitely a West Coast trip because you have the Thunder coming up tomorrow. Then on Saturday, you have the Golden State Warriors coming up again, and that's always a difficult place to play. Then you have the Kings on Monday, and the Kings are a new, revamped, new and improved team. And then you also have the Trailblazers, who are going to be.
You laughed too hard. You was laughing way too hard.
Because Rachel's scary, man. You can't do that to Rachel.
My heart is pounding right now. If anybody wants to know, DJ Chris Styles just came hitting the windows and scared me to death. Almost had a coronary, the big one, because I was so scared. We were talking some Cleveland Cavaliers.
We're gonna split that trip.
2-2?
Yeah.
We literally just said that. So then, they have the Trailblazers, who are minus Damian Lillard. So game
time no more.
Yeah, I could see that being a winnable game. And they beat the Pacers before on the road. So that Kings game last year, they died by the 3-point ball. So they might be able to, but today they played the Kings. They lost to the Kings, I think, at home too. Yeah, and then on the road as well. But they were winning that game on the road and let them come back.
We decided to
let them come back.
Try to shoot everything instead of. Like I said, but we played like we played in Golden State, where we're attacking the basket. There is nothing back because we have the team to do it. But last year we'd take a lead and we'll just shoot ourselves out the game. We'll because I don't know what it is about the Cavs, man. I guess the form of basketball now is just shoot, 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 shoot.
Mhm.
But when you, as you see, even with the Nuggets, they're champions. But guess what? They play inside out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. They would gladly shoot the three, but they're starting on the inside, working their way out. And the Cavs have the team to do that. We just choosing to shoot the three.
Mhm.
All the games we lost this year, we live by the three, and it bugs me because it's like, yo, like that's. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm not about to say this about the coaching. But come on, coach. Come on, coach. Tell them the truth. Look, I mean, y'all watch film. We're fans,
Mhm.
and that's fans. If we can see that, how are y'all as professionals not seeing this?
Mhm.
That's what bugs me about the whole situation. We see it as fans. We watching the same game y'all playing, and y'all supposed to watch film. How y'all not seeing that? Hey, this was killing us. And y'all got the stat line right there. It shows y'all that hey, we shot these many threes against, and it's killing us. So dial it back. Win y'all games by going to the basket. I mean, you got some good people in the paint with Mosley and Allen, and even Double T. Like use them.
Mhm.
Use them. I know Donovan Mitchell is a great slasher.
Mhm.
He reminds you of the young D Wade. Like,
Mhm.
let him use him.
And then, like I've said before, I don't like to question a man's toughness. But one of the things that's been taking place is a question of toughness in the low block. So you brought Tristan Thompson in for that, so use that area. Use, scoring in the paint. Use,
Absolutely.
Jared Allen was kind of a turnover machine the other day on Sunday, but, use Evan Mobley, use Jared, use Tristan Thompson. I didn't think Tristan was going to get a lot of minutes, but, he was in, a considerable amount of time against Golden State. So, utilize those guys down there in the low post. So, I'm just like,
and maybe it get to a point where we're shooting a lot of threes because like most of the opponents we're playing are shooting a lot of threes. And we're like you said, we're trying to match their abilities, but that's not our team. Like as a coach, a player, whatever, your team. Your team is. I'll give you a prime example. And now I'm about to go to football real quick, but I know we talk about basketball. I'm gonna give you a prime example of I know my team. We're gonna talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, as much as we dislike them, they know their team was a running team last year. When they lost their running backs, it was a different team. But the point was they knew I'm gonna hand this ball off or I'm gonna let Lamar run. This is my team. So when we talk about basketball and the Cavs, your team is not a 3-point team. That's not your team. Your team is a low post to mid-range team who can shoot the three. That's what you need to do. But for some reason, we won't do that. We will live by the three, die by the three. That's not our team.
Well, that falls back on the coach then, because why are you trying to become that team that you're not? Let Golden State be Golden State, but there are ways that you can attack Golden State where you can beat Golden State, because eventually those threes are going to stop falling, for Steph Curry, maybe not or whatever. But those threes are going to continue to fall. It just is what it is. So you have to have a game plan in which you're going to come in and beat Golden State outside of shooting those occasional threes because you're not going to match up with them in that way. They are Golden State. Steph Curry is, he's changed the league per se, but, not a lot of players have that pure shooting ability that he has. So let him get his rocks off that way. And then, you beat them with playing your game, playing Cavaliers basketball. And that's one of the things that they did on Sunday that was nice to see. So
yeah, we did that on Sunday, and we wound up. I think we had the lead for most of the game. Majority of the game, we had the lead, and that goes back to what we've been saying. We're playing Cavaliers basketball. The problem is will we stay playing Cavaliers basketball, or will we try to play Golden State type of basketball? And history have shown. These last few years, we have been trying to play Golden State style of basketball. We're not that team. We are the New York Knickerbockers.
And we didn't beat them playing that type of style of basketball either.
Correct. Why? because they trust themselves to be bullies. When we play the bully, we try to be finesse.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out our identity.
Yeah,
That sounds like another team in Cleveland too. Trying to figure out identity. But we're going to go ahead and take a break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Horrible signing.
Move your mic closer to you a little bit.
What you said? That horrible signing of the manager.
Oh.
Hated that signing.
Oh, for Guardian?
Yes.
Oh.
Hated that. Why would you do that?
Well, let's talk about that when you get back. When we get back.
Why didn't you just you don't want to play Omar? Like, why not?
Omar who? Vestil?
Yeah.
Did he interview?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's a gimme.
I don't really understand it either.
This dude was a player was last year? Year before last?
Yeah, he pretty much just retired.
Yeah. They have no management experience. Like, is he one of those guys where you guys are trying to tank the season and he's that scapegoat? Remember like the Browns did when they had a couple years ago before we got Baker Mayfield. Kitchens.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they were pretty kitchens.
Tell your neighbor, tell your family member, and Auntie Lottie Dottie and Pookie about the biggest party of the year, Saturday, November 18th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Pull up on us November 18th. Celebrate 5 years with us. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. I'm here with Eddie Scott. Make sure you're always keeping it right here on 95.9 FM on your regular radio dial. And then you can download the WOVU app so you can take us with you on the go. You can listen online at WOVU.org. And you can always contact the station with any questions, comments, or concerns at 216-271-0959. Now, show up and show out to the biggest party in the city on November 18th. So we just ran that PSA, but we want to remind you again how important this is. WOVU 95.9 FM, our voices united right here at 7201 Kinsman, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're celebrating 5 years. Congratulations to us on the airways and giving away 500 turkeys with the fixings and a few Cornish hens as well. So Saturday, November 18th, 7201 Kinsman, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Be there and help us celebrate 5 years. Don't miss out. And I just gave that number again, but I'm going to give it 216-271-0959. I'm going to try to be in the house unless I'm at an Ohio State game. Eddie, you going to be there on Saturday? That Saturday?
I will be there.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to meet some of your favorite personalities from WOVU too. So we love meeting people in the community. You know, so many people tell us that they listen to our show. So come on out, get your free turkeys, get some Cornish hens, and get some stuff for your Thanksgiving dinner. So Eddie, you know, we haven't really tried lately. You know, Browns have pretty much consumed us, and Irie Harris is going to be with us, you know, today at 6:30. I was about to say 6:30 o'clock at 6:30 p.m. So, you know, the Cleveland Guardians had a new signing for a new head manager, and that signing, you know, his name is kind of funny all the way through, but his name is Stephen Vogt. So even though it's VOGT, you want to pronounce the G in that, but the G is silent. So it's actually vote like you should be doing today. Be in line by 7:30. No one can deny you the right to vote as long as you are in line. Please go out and vote today. But Stephen Vogt is going to be your new Guardians manager. And Eddie, I understand that you're not feeling this signing. Do tell, sir. Do tell.
No, I'm not feeling this signing. I think it was just a how can I put it in a nice way? We're trying to tank. I don't feel that this was a great signing. This guy just literally retired yesterday, and you signed him to be your manager. When you had Omar Vizquel out there, you could even win got Jim Tomey for all I care. You got many other people who have experience, who's been out the game, who knows the game, who would be excellent, who will have the respect of the team right now. And I don't think you did that. I think you just tried to save a couple dollars. And managers don't make that much money already. You try to save a couple dollars by signing this guy who literally just retired to be your manager. Horrible signing. And yes, I will be rooting for them because, they're my home team. And I root for all Cleveland, everything. But do I like this pick? Do I like this signing? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like there are some internal candidates who have been with the organization, a lot longer, who, are beloved in the organization. Carl Willis interviewed, Mike Sarbaugh interviewed. Mike Sarbaugh got in that dust up too that night, between Tim Anderson. So I appreciate him being down with the struggle that night. Also Sandy Alomar did not want to interview. So he did not want it. Yeah. So
I wonder why though. That's the question. Why?
Probably because he don't want that stress. He probably like being a first base coach, and that's that. Sometimes people don't be wanting to deal with that. What comes along with that, the stress and pressure, always knowing your job is on the line. You can be fired as a manager, and but not your whole staff. So maybe job security and stuff like that. But I wonder how much consideration was given to DeMarlo Hale as well. Who had filled in for Tito when Tito was hurt or injured. Yeah. So, I'm kind of not understanding, but, I guess maybe the organization, this organization is one of the best organizations in town, minus their PR department. But it's one of the best organizations in town. So they run things very well on a shoestring budget. So
I would definitely agree with that.
I guess, I put a lot of faith, in Chris Antonetti, and that staff over there, that they did the right thing, that this was the right hire out of, candidates that they looked at and could have selected from. It must have been something that, they thought that this kid had, because he's a kid compared to us.
Yeah.
He the same age? He older than you?
He's 39, right?
I think he's 38.
38, we're the same age.
Okay. So, yeah, y'all some kids right now. Y'all some babies. So, maybe they felt like going in the younger direction was maybe the way to do it. Tito had a lot of health problems.
Yeah.
So, he had to miss a lot of games. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, where did this guy come from? Has he been a baseball lifer? But, one of the trends in sports is to go after these young coaches, until that trend is over, and they go back to, the way things are done. But the game is changing so much.
I understand going after the young ones. I really do. They do it in football because the game is changing. You want to get, some new eyes. But my thing is, at least get somebody with some experience, though. Managing a team is already hard enough, but with zero experience at all, not even an interim internship as a manager, you don't have any of that experience.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't even some guys be player managers. They play the game, but they're still the manager of the team. You don't even have that. You have zero experience, and that's what worries me about this pick for our manager. I think we kind of rushed it. I think we could have waited and actually considered others, but I'm banking on the fact that they always have good experiences.
Quit being so conservative out here. Quit being some Donald Trumps out here. So we ain't conservative. Quit being conservative out here, man. We gotta do something different to win.
They not doing it. Do you think it's gonna help them win?
I don't know who to do this.
Exactly.
I really don't care.
Who Stephen Vogt is?
Listen, he said a word. Experience. Does he have experience?
No.
Especially, in baseball, period.
He played a catcher, and usually they say catchers make the best managers.
It's not hard in baseball. You just roll the ball out.
Oh, my God.
Listen, the kid in baseball is having what?
Pitching.
It comes down to what?
Oh, definitely pitching.
Hold up. Where's Rockville at? Rockville was a baseball star playing in minor leagues.
There you go, right there.
Rockville what?
Rockville, tell us, yeah, you baseball guy. Tell us what's the most important thing. How important is the manager? You would know. I wouldn't know.
I don't know. It's something what type of manager you got.
So what are your thoughts about Stephen Vogt being selected as the Guardians manager?
It's all depends. Come on, man. Get over here, man. We can't hear you, bro. You want the world to hear you. The people. His players. We talk about the Guardians right now. So you watch the Guardians just as much as we watch the Guardians. So you see the players we have. You see the team that we have. What are your thoughts on the manager that we just selected with this team and these players? Was it a good pick? I don't know. It's kind of hard. Some people will ride for him or some won't. So it depends how he, it's how they think about him. See, this is my thing. He was with us a year ago. He didn't play this year. He retired this year, so he didn't play this year. But he was with us last year as one of our players. And managing a baseball team is a lot harder than a lot of people give it credit. Give credit for it. You still got to set the lineup. You got to set the pitching. You got to do all that. This is because that's to make or break you as a player. Even though some people think it's not important, we ain't gonna say the names, Chris Styles.
Listen, we say about the players, man. Baseball is about the players and the pitcher.
You need pitching. You definitely need pitching.
Players. He played. I didn't play that league. He played professional.
Okay, so baseball. Okay, the baseball is a game of is an individual team game. That's the best way to put it. It's definitely an individual game, but it's definitely a team game.
Yeah.
It's a team game. Individual team game. No, everybody got to play their part to make it home. On defense. On offense, too. You got to have your pitchers, and you got to have your hitters. Facts. That's the point. Everybody got to play their part.
Well, this team probably is about to trade their ace this season,
I'm about to say
too.
Definitely about to get rid of it. Let's be honest. And there's a bad part about it. They get the picks, they bring them to the farm, and we let them go. But baseball is the same as football. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Well, what? Without a pitcher, you ain't gonna never win. Without a quarterback, you ain't gonna win. Not true. You can win without a quarterback. I mean, I give you
maybe not a Super Bowl, but
you can win Super
if you can win with PJ Walker.
I'm about to give you a lot of examples of winning without a quarterback. Denver Broncos, when they had Peyton Manning, Super Bowl, Peyton Manning was trash.
Yeah,
Baltimore Ravens, 2000 Super Bowl. Okay, so you better look at stats up for Denver. Okay, we're talking about Baltimore then. We go to Baltimore,
but that's 30 years ago.
It doesn't matter.
That was the whole
quarterback was trash.
That was
20
years ago.
Trent Differt was trash.
That was 23
Look at his stats.
ago.
No matter.
Right now, you need a quarterback to win the league.
Even right now. You
need a quarterback.
Right now, okay. You give an example. Right now. Who won last Super Bowl? Go ahead. You know who won. Okay. How did they win? Did their offense win or their defense win? How many points they scored? I can't remember.
How many touchdowns they scored?
I'm about to do that too. Hold on, wait, don't say right there. I'm about to get right there. Hold on. I'm about to tell you the score. Look, check it out. I'm about to tell you the score.
Right now, Eddie's looking up the score to verify whether or not defense or offense won that Super Bowl. I believe it was the officials because they made that ghost call a pass interference. So
within the last 5 years, the NFL, when we talk about offense in the NFL, it exploded. Offense exploded in high school, college, and everything. So that's why you need a quarterback.
I'll give you that.
Because the game of it changed. 20 years ago, I would agree with you. I would say absolutely. So you can win with a mediocre quarterback and you can do it. But today's game.
So when you had the Rams, when you had 2022 Rams versus Bengals, who was the MVP that game?
What?
22. 2022 Rams versus Bengals. Who was the MVP that game?
I think it was Donald.
Aaron Donald. Where did he play?
Yeah.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Why? Because defense wins championships. Offense sell tickets. Still to this day.
Bob, what was their record that year?
Who?
Their record that year.
How many touchdowns did Stafford throw?
Yeah, he had to been the highest scoring offensive game.
But listen. Listen, you're absolutely right. He did have a high scoring
I
offense.
agree with you.
But their defense,
you need a good defense.
Their defense wasn't giving up nothing that year, bro.
And nobody was stopping their offense either.
Well, that's true too. That's true. But listen. Okay, I'm gonna give you.
Why
this year?
Why right now they're saying NFL right now is not looking as good because every quarterback's not having a good year right now. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks having great years.
But listen,
quarterback play is down this year.
But look how many. Look at this. Okay, well, I can't go out season ticket sales. The sales is making it crazy because it's football. So I ain't gonna go off sales. But I'm gonna go off this. Look at how much you like football right now. Way more than you have liked it in the past. Why? Because defense is playing football again.
No.
Come on, man. Quit playing.
No.
Man, this has been the best football I've seen in so long, especially in Cleveland.
Well, see, you said Cleveland. I don't watch the Browns all the time. I watch the first half, second half, and then I watch other games.
First of all, you shouldn't do that. That's disrespectful.
DJ Cristal said he watches the first and second
quarter.
Yeah.
So disrespectful.
In fourth quarter.
Let me
and then the fourth quarter again.
If the Browns had a great quarterback right now, where do you think the Browns would be at?
6-1.
We'll be 6-1, but do this.
7-1. 7-1.
We were undefeated.
But let me fix something though. Fix something. No. I got to rebuttal. You can't let me rebuttal. You can't just say that and let me. You got to let me rebuttal.
I just told
you. You're 100% right on that one.
I just told
you. You're 100% right on that. But in all honesty, come on, man. You got PJ. You got PJ Walker, man. This guy
was able to win you 2 games. Almost won you a third game. Almost.
No. He didn't know nobody. His defense,
but it comes up that you still had to have not just a good guy, above good quarterback to really take you to that next level and get you Super Bowl. In today's game, you have to have it.
If we had a great, listen, if we had a great quarterback, right now, they be saying the Browns will go to the Super Bowl. The Brown defense is number 1 in everything.
I get it.
Number 1 in everything.
But we don't even have a decent quarterback.
That's what I just told you.
We listen. That's what I'm saying. We don't need a great quarterback. We need decent. We ain't even got that.
Yes, we got a decent quarterback.
Where at?
Hey, decent.
Who? Name one.
Deshaun Watson. He decent.
Hey,
he ain't great. He decent.
He
decent. Oh, you tell me Deshaun Watson ain't decent?
He ain't been showing decent,
but he decent.
Well, no, I'm sorry. He showed us decent in
against Tennessee in this game
and the Cardinals. But besides those 2 games, no, he have not seen decent.
But he ain't played. He ain't played 3 games. Hey, he was decent.
He's 3-1.
He's 3-1.
Right. He was decent in each one. And
he's 3-1.
He was decent. He was decent.
What's our record? What's our record?
4-3.
5-3.
And we 3-1.
We 3. Yeah. How many games he played?
He played 4.
And he won what?
But listen.
Okay, then each game.
But he's never won.
Y'all let me finish.
No, we're not letting you finish.
Listen, y'all let me my point. Yes.
Hi, Irene. Hi, Brandy.
Hold on. What did the defense put up? On the games he won, how many points did the defense allow?
So right now there's an argument in the studio about whether or not you have to have
10 points.
Okay, so
10 points.
How many did we score?
Don't matter.
It does
matter. At that point, your defense doing it. Okay, I give you the Cardinals.
We ain't winning 7-0 games or 6-0 games. We winning 27. She wrapped us up. First time I wrap up.
We gotta take a commercial break, and we have Brandy and we have Irene from Cleveland.com with us. So we're gonna go take a commercial break right quick. We'll be back with her in the huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we're gonna be right back.
Never wrap
anybody. What is going on with you, Rachel?
You never wrap anybody up. Gonna wrap us up. Yeah, when you let them dudes talk all day yesterday.
You said I gotta take a break.
Gee, we get up here talking about some great content.
You stop us.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Man, you gotta have an offense.
Nah, I like the big one.
You gotta have an offense.
He be killing them.
Listen, why? If you lose in baseball, let me ask you.
Sorry about that. Okay. Hi, Ree. Hi, Brandy. How y'all doing?
Hey, how's everything?
Good. We're doing okay. Just had some vibrant discussion in the studio really quickly. So now get back to business. But they had some good arguments about whether or not you need a good offense or a good defense to win a Super Bowl. And Irie, what say you? Do you agree with our co-host in the studio?
I say a good kicker.
A good kicker?
You ain't wrong about that either. You definitely right about that one.
Yeah.
We ain't arguing that one. That's a good point right there.
Yeah, I love that, Irie, because that's important. Dustin Hopkins has been really important to what we're trying to do, where we had some deficiencies
on the offense. We had the defense.
So Dustin Hopkins at times has been our offense.
Well, that's Stefanski there.
You know, thanks for a great pickup on that. And Irie, what are your overall thoughts and impressions regarding the game against the Cardinals on Sunday?
Well, it was a dominating win as per the expectations that we have set for this team after the first few games. It's a game in which they should dominate. I think the only critique that I had on that was this isn't anything new. I texted friends and people about this as it happened. I said after the Browns scored their third touchdown, take Watson out immediately afterward, and they kept him in, even had him a bit early on in the fourth quarter. Then they put PJ Walker in with about a little over 7 minutes left in the game. I understand him getting worried about stuff, but when it comes to somebody coming back from an injury that created such a clouded saga the way it did the last month, I would have taken him out a little earlier. That's the only thing, though. Both offense and defense did terrific. Offense flourished. Watson's confidence was shown when in the pocket. The defense, well, at some point, they pretty much became quarterback abuse. That's how good they were on Sunday.
Let me ask you this. I'm glad you said something. Let me ask you this. So, who dominated that game, offense or defense?
Well, technically, both units dominated, but if you're asking who dominated more, who had the edge on that, it's definitely going to be the defense, because while the offense scores their point, the defense didn't allow a single point, let alone a single more yard. The Cardinals ran 6 plays in their first series of the game. I think they traveled like 27 yards, I think, downfield. That was actually their most productive series, I believe, of the entire game. So the fact that the defense allowed that to be their most productive series of the game lets you know that they were the more dominant unit in that. But it was an overall dominating, all-around performance, if we're being honest.
You're 100% right. It was an overall dominating game. But there's always a but. Let me tell you. Let me show you something. The offense only looked so good because the defense kept giving them great field position. And when they were downfield, they had to drive. Guess what happened? We were punting. We did not do anything until the defense either got a turnover on an interception, got a forced fumble, or something of that nature. Was when the offense looked straight dominating. Other than both the long bombs to Amari Cooper.
I cannot I cannot disagree with that at all because the defense literally looked the same as they did from start to finish. They never took their gas off the pedal. The offense, well, it took them the entire first quarter to kind of get things going. And once they scored halfway through the second quarter, then that it's like, all right, now we got it. It did take a minute. I do give you that.
So, would you say that Deshaun Watson is back, or is he working his way
He
back?
ain't back.
I would say that he was working his way back. I would say that we shouldn't rush just quickly. I think we should enjoy the performance that he had versus Arizona. But I think we all know that's not the true decider. The true equalizer will come next week. Really, the next couple of weeks, but I really say next week since this will be his first time playing against Baltimore this season. We have seen him play Pittsburgh, and we know how that went. But Baltimore will really be that one decider because that's amongst the scariest teams right now in the league. If we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dominating team right there.
Mm-hmm.
Offense and defense.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget special teams with Justin Tucker too.
Yeah.
All three phases
All three
of the
phases
game,
of the
they're
game,
pretty
they're
much
dominant.
complete.
So
So
this is my thing about that game coming up next week, and with the Browns. First of all, our offense definitely gonna have to step up big. Because the last game that we lost against Baltimore, it wasn't the defense fault. It looked like the defense fault, whether it was because the offense. I mean, if you're on the field for 30, 35, 40 minutes, it's only a 60-minute game, you're gonna be tired. And that offense was horrible against the Ravens. And our defense stayed on the field, which I don't care what kind of Super Bowl caliber team you got, you're going to lose if your defense is tired. And that's what happened. So as long as we control the ball, which we not because we're talking about Stefanski offense, which means pass 14 times out of 16. Out of 16 plays, you pass it 14 times, and it's gonna look bad. Now, if we decide to play ball and use our strength, which is running the ball, because our offense is built to run. But if you choose not to do that, it's not going to be a nice looking game for us.
I don't even know why he don't use Kareem Hunt more.
Because he's, you know what? And then, Irie, I'm gonna ask you that because you might know that more than we do. Why don't he use Kareem Hunt as much?
Man, well, I will say this. I do think he should have used him a bit more when playing with the backups with both DTR during that game versus Baltimore and when PJ Walker was in the pocket. I do understand backing off a bit with the run when it comes to playing Deshaun, but I do think that Kareem should be used more. Now, regarding why, Stefanski's not going to be in the presser saying, yeah, well, so we didn't feel like using him today because of, and so and so. So they won't give us that detail exactly, but just more so, I think a feel of the game in which he's trying to join in was trying to give Watson more of leeway, I think, on Sunday, saying, hey, this is your team. We're all in on you. Let's go ahead and kill. And that's why we saw a lot more time with Watson in the pocket, really. And, he had the 30 throws. But I do hope that they use Hunt more when it comes to Baltimore on Sunday.
Can I ask you a question? Probably a little messy, but I'm going to ask you a question anyways. Do you think it has something to do with Kareem Hunt saying something about him not getting any touches in the fourth quarter against Seattle?
I would not cross that possibility out. But I also think that if we were to, or if you were to allege something of that sort, then they'll probably bring in the fact that the Cardinals, are pretty much headed towards the NFL draft lottery. What did he have to use them for much when they had him already done in the first half? But it's to each his own, right? It's all relative.
Yeah. I got you.
Got some comments in the comment booth. So George says, so far the NFL season, you are getting complete play. Complete play means there are teams actually playing a thing called defense, and which in the same ways has finally caught up to the pinball offense. This is great for the NFL. I'm still trying to figure out how a team is 5-3 and they are not out statistic by the opponent. Oh, that's the team down I-480 East known as the Squealers. So Irie, he did have a question as well. And he said, please ask your guests how a defense holds a team to 58 yards total, gets zero recognition from the national media, talking heads via ESPN and others. Do they have a Cleveland bias, like it's kryptonite word to them, and they're in the no fun league NFL? So did you notice any national coverage about this game and how the defense held them to 58 yards?
I don't recall too much national maybe I missed some tweets, maybe I missed some posts or some coverage, in the AM from NFL Network or ESPN. I don't know. I don't run those places that would know better. But I will say, if there wasn't as much as there could have been, I do think it would chalk up to the expectance of them doing so versus a team that honestly on paper is inferior to them. I think we would see or hear a lot more about it if it was a team that's headed to the playoffs right now, a playoff caliber team. But Arizona, they may not give them much credit for.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one because I was watching. They did talk about them on, like you said, first take, and then they also talked about it on Sunday before the game. They Maurice Jones-Drew had them shedding the Cardinals out. I think everybody else had them giving up 6 points tops.
You see, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's probably why they're not really like. Don't get me wrong, it's an NFL team and it's a great feat to really only give up 58 yards, and that is something you can talk about. I don't care what team you're playing, but it was the Cardinals. It's not run home like you destroy the Ravens or something.
Yeah, but we haven't had a shutout in like 16 years or something like that. Yeah, it's been a long time. So, I guess that's something
2017. 2007.
Yeah, it's something that could be celebrated as well. So
definitely, yeah.
That's a long time, bro. That's a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm not saying that we shouldn't have been celebrated, but it's also you gotta understand like this is a team. This is like like Ohio State beating Iowa. It's a team that you should beat. You know what I'm saying? Like you get more recognition. Like they'd probably been all over it if it was them shedding out the Steelers or them shedding out the San Francisco 49ers or a team that's possibly going to make the playoff or, you just dominated that team. The problem is when we played teams like that, only team that we actually dominated was Cincinnati and the 49ers. On defense, we don't dominate them on defense, though. The offense didn't look good.
So, Irene, let me ask you this. We're going into Baltimore right now. Baltimore is 7-2, and they're playing, amazingly. One of the things I want to know is, now that we have Deshaun Watson, coming back, and, hopefully we're going to see that improvement next week as well. What should we fear about this Baltimore team? Should we fear this offense with Lamar at the helm, or should we fear this defense with our offense still trying to, get back to where we possibly needed to be to win games? And also, I don't think we have a true number 2 wide receiver. So which aspect do you think we should kind of fear most?
I would really say defensively, because offensively, I mean, just the fact that Deshaun Watson is getting paid this much money, and still the thought is with great quarterback or a great quarterback play, this team will be good, but that's what they're paying him for. So it's going to lower expectations week by week. But it's this defense that is raising expectation and praise, and we're even arguing why they didn't receive as much national prominence. But the fact that this Baltimore team pretty much thrashed them the way that we haven't seen a team do so this season does give a little worry. Even in the prior losses, it was not as bad as that, And when it comes to this defense, I think it even alluded to it earlier, earlier on regarding them being on the field and being worn down. There were multiple times in the first half of the last time they played in which the run pretty much broke the Browns down. And when we talk about their run defense, primarily when it comes to the Ravens run game, they're leading the league right now in rushing yards. I think at just around 160 a game. And the Browns are one of 2 teams in the top 6 of fewest rushing yards allowed per game. It was them and the Lions. The Ravens give the Browns, I think, 131 yards on 33 carries. They gave the Lions like 140-something yards and 27 carries. The fact that the run game is able to thrash both of those defenses is something that I'm hoping the Browns really retooled up and will have improved by Sunday. That's my biggest fear when it comes to those games.
100% agree with you on that one. See, this is the thing. You got the number 1 defense versus the number 2 defense on that right now this week. You have the number 1 run offense in the Ravens versus the number 2 run offense in the Browns, which is strange. You say that, ain't it? It's kind of crazy, y'all. Cause I could say the number 2 run offense, but we're averaging 150. I want to say 152 yards a game right now in run and rushing yards. But it's amongst three different backs. But with that being said, and like I said, I agree with Irie 100%. The one thing that we are missing is if the Ravens get going on the ground, it's hard to stop. They have three different powerful backs. They don't just have finesse. They have power with the finesse. And then you still got to account for Lamar Jackson. And that is what's killing us.
I thought you was including him in the three powerful backs.
Oh, no. No, he's the fourth back. He's the fourth back. And that's what's killing. Like, listen, the Ravens, I hate to say this, but, man, they look great, man. And the 2 games they lost is like, yo, like, you lost those games? Like, they look great. And we got to bring our complete A game for that team.
Yeah, the games they lost, they couldn't get the run off.
Correct.
Really quick question. We're gonna take like a couple second break right quick. So hi Mickey. Mickey says, hi everybody. What happened on Sunday? Talking about against the Seahawks, because Mickey lives in Washington, so he wants to know. So really quickly, who wants to tackle this one? Brandy, you want to tackle this one right quick about what happened with the Seahawks for Mickey?
Yes.
You know about when Ravens beat them, blew them out?
Oh yeah, no, that too.
That happened on Sunday. He got blew out.
But I think he's referring to when the Browns lost to the Seahawks.
That's 2 weeks ago. We talking about we on this week. We got blew out.
And then Mickey just got on the show. Mickey, you hear that? Eddie said what happened 2 weeks before don't matter because y'all got blown out on Sunday. So that's a great answer. So we're going to be back really quickly. We're just going to take a quick break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Bring the old stuff. Don't bring the old stuff. Y'all should have won. That was bad play calling. The fast one to pass the ball instead of running it.
Listen, you got Kareem Hunt. Every time he get the ball, he running 4 yards. Every time he get the ball, it matter when he get in there, and you don't use
the last drive of that Seahawks game. You went 3 passes.
You did run the ball.
He didn't run the ball. Not one. He didn't get on the field. You didn't even use him as a decoy.
You remember we down there on the damn 1 yard line, and he passing a damn ball.
3 passes. 3 straight passes.
And then on fourth down, you run the ball and he bust straight on.
Welcome back to Her in the
What's
Huddle
wrong with you?
with Rachel Hill.
Kareem
the
Hunt is a
first
beast.
lady.
We can talk about coaching all day long.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. I'm here with Irie, Brandy, Eddie, and Rockville as well. And Eddie, not Eddie, Irie, one of my questions for you is, what is the Browns going to do with this receiving game against the Baltimore defense when you don't have a true number 2 receiver?
The best way to do it is to keep it short, right? I mean, we're talking about these receivers, but there should be, I would think, a better use of David Njoku, right? Somebody who led everybody in receiving yards the last time they played the Ravens. I believe he caught 6 of his 7 targets. So I'm not even more so worried when it comes to Cooper or anybody else, or as you said, not finding out who the true number 2 wide receiver is. Let's involve the tight end quite a bit in this, especially because you don't expect we're not having a tight end go 30 yards downfield like we would for a wide receiver. I think the best way is to keep it a little short, 10 to 12 yards, when pass it to him and move the chains per usual.
Well, I feel like, the screen game is working too with the running backs, and they possess an ability to be able to catch the ball and get yards after catch, which is something that Nick Chubb struggled with and something that he said he was going to work on, in various off seasons. But I find the screen game to be working very effectively. Do you foresee Baltimore trying to take that away from the Browns on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There is a reason, right, why we're speaking about the Ravens being one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, this is a Ravens defense that will always rush film and be able to adjust. So I do expect them to do their best to take that screen pass away, and then they will rely on, all right, between Stefanski or Van Pelt, what is your next move? So I'm very curious to see how they adjust to that if that screen game is taken away, especially early on, because we know they love to use that as like a startup generator for their series.
I think the Browns definitely need to. Well, not the Browns. Deshaun definitely need to use his legs.
True that.
He needs to use his legs in this game. One thing he did against the Cardinals that I was liking was he was breaking the pocket and then making plays after he broke the pocket. and that's something we're gonna definitely have to use because we don't have a left tackle right now. Because as we heard, I mean, it wasn't a big loss, but it was.
Said it wasn't a big loss. Jedrick Wills is out on IR, so he's going to be gone for 4 weeks. Cam Mitchell, who just started the game on Sunday for Greg Newsome, is out with 4 weeks. So we've lost some, in our, defensive back. So that's not going to be great either.
It's still gonna come off to Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. With a pocket breakdown, he got to get out the pocket and use his legs.
Correct.
Use his legs to bring the defense guys to come to him so he can pass.
And that will open up
or take them little 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, and that's what something I realized maybe it's just me, but I realized like the Browns don't like 2 3 yards. They think it's 10 yards or better, or it's not a good play. And I'm like, where I'm from, 4 yards is great.
The average good quarterback, that's what they do. The Buffalo quarterback, Cincinnati quarterback, Baltimore quarterback.
Yeah,
they take off. They take them little 3 or 4 yards.
I mean, you're good enough to do that. This was you were known for, breaking the pocket, opening up the play to make a better play. But I don't know, maybe because he's still trying to fill out the team. I don't know what it is, or trying to fill out Stefanski, or I don't know what it is. But up until Sunday, and he's been hurt, so we really don't have a lot of film on him. But up until Sunday, he didn't do that until Sunday. He did it a lot. He broke the pocket and made plays happen. But
because his pass game went right.
Correct. Yeah, but he's not going to have that time against Baltimore, and I can imagine them blitzing, and not saying they're going to try to actually injure him, but that arm injury could be a problem, and I could see that them going after him, especially on that right side as well too, sending blitzers and stuff like that.
I'm blitzing all day. Yeah. You have a makeshift offensive line right now. I am blitzing
because they know he's not going to run. He's trying to be a pocket.
Correct.
He's not a pocket,
but that's not him.
And the crazy part about it is now Lamar is actually standing in the pocket and making plays happen in the pocket. But we knew again he'll break pocket breakdown. But instead of running first, he
looking to pass. But then he taking off.
Yeah,
that's what he do.
But Deshaun Watson ain't been doing that. And again, like I said, I know we only got a little small sample size of him because he's been injured.
That's when Deshaun Watson was great.
I just about to say I need that Houston Deshaun Watson to come up. I'm not saying you're going to be that great like he was in Houston, but I need to see at least a B player like that. I mean,
but Deshaun Watson really wasn't great in Houston in passing. He was more a run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he tricked the defense because they knew they had to worry about him, like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
you think about he only got one man to beat. Everybody else is full.
Yeah.
Once he get across the line and get past the one middle linebacker or outside linebacker, it's.
But that's my point. Like I need that Deshaun though. I need that.
I don't know if that Deshaun is ever coming. You might get a version of that.
Give me the version of it. I'll take the version of it.
Like a B- version. What is that? Like a black exploitation? A black exploitation. Deshaun Watson, you might get.
I'll take it.
I don't know if the older Deshaun Watson is coming back based on the play that we've seen here.
I don't like when he throw the ball away and I know you're a runner.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like.
Irene, do you have a score prediction for Sunday for us?
Oh, buddy. Man, I was gonna wait a couple of days to make this one, but I can give you the original draft. I was thinking I actually do have the Browns winning. I know a lot of people have the Ravens winning this, but I'm gonna give the Browns benefit of the doubt for this game specifically, coming on the right end. And the score I say will be somewhere around 17 to 14, a little more closer, but without the Ravens scoring as much as they did the last time, and really putting a more hold on that. And who better than the unit that I mentioned earlier of Dustin Hopkins coming out clutch in the game.
Not Justin Tucker. Well, everybody, that's our time. It passed really fast. So I want to thank Irie for being on. Want to thank Brandy. Want to thank Eddie as well. This is Rachel Hill for the First Lady of Sports. We're going to end in just 1 second, but Eddie, quick score prediction, then Brandy, and then myself.
I'm going Irie. I like that score, 17-14.
Okay, Brandy, what is your score prediction?
I'm gonna go Browns win 21-17.
Okay, I'm gonna go Browns win. I'm gonna go 35.
Damn.
Let's go, Rachel.
30. Is that possible? 35-30 Browns win. I figure they're going to be kind of a high scoring game because of Lamar, but I figure that, defenses are going to get tested and the Browns will be able to pull this out at the very end.
You talking about 60 plus points between number 1 and number 2 defense.
Well, remember in 2020 when the Browns made it to the playoffs and they had all those points that they scored almost 80 points combined. So I believe it can be done.
Why not?
Yeah, Irie said, why not? Brandy, what say you? You think it can be done that they can get that many points?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay, think about what happened in Indy. So it was done. So I want to thank everybody so much for being here. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We are out of here.